Today, on a very serious episode of Q&A, Prime Sonic YT asks, what part of your high school years did you most enjoy? And his second question is, what part of your high school years would you never want to even think of again? This will be a more serious, introspective Q&A, and to hell with it. Hey guys, this is MPig, aka My Profile is Great, and this will be the entry all about my teenage years. I'm still 19, I'm almost 20, so maybe this is the perfect time for this kind of question to be asked. My high school years were spent mostly at home because, well, I was homeschooled. So, for those of you who don't know, being homeschooled doesn't necessarily mean you have no social life and you suck and you can go die. Even though it probably explains some of my more introverted sides of myself and perhaps the quirkiness as well. The fact that I was raised from two insanely quirky parents and this is the way that I ended up being. But the parts of my high school years that I enjoyed, I'll assume high school is like 14 to 18. That's what you mean, that sort of age. What was so interesting is that around that time, I actually discovered a homeschool group, which is a group of teenagers that were all homeschooled that hung out together, and we all went to Disneyland and stuff. We all had Disneyland passes, and so we would schedule certain days, we'd all go to Disneyland and stuff and just have fun. So I became a part of this group, and then you ended up realizing, people don't know this, there's all this weird freaking homeschool politics. It's not like high school politics, and maybe it's just like this in California. But there's all these different homeschool... oh, excuse me. Snot's like plugging up my nose here. Shoot, where was I? There's all these different homeschool groups. There was like the Homeschoolers of Southern California group. And then there was this one other group that was called something else and something else. And it was all done by these different parents. Because like the parents are like the heads of these like different groups that go out and do activities and stuff. And there's these two different groups that were literally like at war with each other. They didn't... I guess it's because of the different kids, and the parents fought constantly, like, no, I'm going to put on a dance for my daughter or whatever. Oh, yeah? Well, our dance is going to be better. Oh, yeah? Yeah. And the parents would start fighting, and so the kids would start fighting because, you know, the parents of the kids of the whatever, and it was all a big mess. But I definitely made a lot of great friends that I could relate to on a particular level. It got to a point where, you know, you made real friends that lasted about a lifetime, though a lot of them I don't talk to anymore because it's kind of like, I felt like I had gotten to a point. I'm going to be honest with, it might be different now, but around the time I was 16 or 17, I began to realize I was getting to a phase where I felt like I had grown up, and I was looking at the rest of them. No offense to them, because actually they were really great people for what they were, and I looked at them and I realized this isn't what I want right now. I felt like I was on a different plane than they were. I'm not going to say maturity-wise, but I felt like I had moved on in my life, and I didn't need to, like, stick in this constantly, like, childish barrage of just, like, random activity that... I mean, they were literally, I think my mom said at one point that they were kind of, like, hyperactive, and so was I. But it's sort of, you know, when you're looking at your friends from your childhood or your early teen years or whatever, and you're kind of like, yeah, I'm not sure these are the kinds of friendships that I think are going to last all that long. And I think subconsciously I kind of separated myself from them. But the times that I was going to Disneyland with my friends, my homeschool friends that I had made, those were probably the best of my high school years, easily by far. And also the accomplishment of earning a high school diploma through a program that I was doing at home. I felt extremely proud of myself. I got my high school diploma when I was about, I think I was about 14 or 15. I think I was 15 when I got my high school diploma. Now I'm trying to remember it. It wasn't all that big of a deal. Like everybody said, oh, you got it that early, you were so smart and everything. Really, we just found an easy way to get the diploma. We did this whole program at home. And, you know, it wasn't that big of a deal. I'm sure it was the same sort of educational requirements as any other high school kid would need, but it wasn't like I was on this wonderfully accelerated super smart program for super smart people. No, it was nothing like that. As far as the worst years of my high school life, let me tell you what, it's connected to the best years again. I was a part of an acting group called from South Coast Repertory. And we were doing all these little plays and stuff, and it was all a lot of fun. I got to participate in some low-key, low-budget productions, and I learned that for a long time there I wanted to be an actor. That's what I learned, that I wanted to express myself through characters and through that sort of a thing. I loved it. It allowed me to be creative before I discovered YouTube and other things such as writing, which is basically my creative outlet right now. But I had a crush in one of my classes, and it became one of those things where during one of the productions that we were doing, we had to be out there every single day for about 5 or 6 hours. So crushes could develop really, really deep. And in this particular case, I was 14, and it was really actually quite heartbreaking on my part, because people were telling me that I admitted to liking this girl. And it was because I got backed into a corner. People were asking me whether I liked another girl who was my friend in this particular group. And I said, no, I don't like her. And they didn't believe me. And I said, okay, fine. And this is my stupid logic at that time. I had, like, no social skills whatsoever. I was like, no, I don't like her. I actually like this other girl. And they all went, wait, you like her? And I was like, yeah, you like her? Because she was kind of one of the popular ones in the class. And they were kind of expecting me to like the nerdy girl because, you know, I'm nerdy. And it ended up that I liked this a bit more popular girl that would probably want nothing to do with me. And they were like, and I'm like, please, but don't tell anyone. I was stupid and naive at the time. And they went, oh, don't worry, we won't tell her. I honestly don't know whether they told her or not. But in the dressing room, we were changing costumes, me and the guys. And they were telling me, like, oh, she learned about it, and she actually really likes you back, man. And I was like, really? And then the possibilities were buzzing around in my mind, like, oh, my God, maybe I could actually finally get a date with a girl. Because this is at the point where dating was, like, some kind of weird, mysterious thing to me. I had no idea that I could possibly, you know, be appealing enough to get a girl. Like, now I know. I've been out with plenty of girls. It's not like it's all that mysterious of a thing anymore. I can maintain a relationship. It's not all that hard. Well, it is, but it's not hard to get a date with a girl. Or at least it hasn't been for me so far in my life. It was at this point, though, because I was still socially awkward. And so I ended up asking this girl for her number, and she ended up, first she gave me a wrong number, which was, she said, oh, I'm sorry, that was the number for my old cell phone. Here, let me get you my actual number. And I was thinking, okay, this is a little bit suspicious. And then she ended up saying, oh, wait, are you Jewish? And I was like, no, I'm not Jewish. Oh, my dad won't let me talk to boys who aren't Jewish, which I knew was complete and total bullshit, because she had every other guy's number through that whole class. But I guess apparently because I was coming up to her, asking her for her number, apparently that was weird because it was me, and I was not, like, the most sociable person within that group. And I don't think she quite realizes, I don't think anybody who was really in on this particular joke, because what ended up happening was that it was a big farce of, oh, let's see what kind of stupid things that M-Pig will be doing by having him do stupid things. I ended up getting her number, supposedly, and what ended up happening was that it wasn't really her number. It was the number of her friend that sounds like her that was expecting me to call. And they honestly egged me on. And I remember calling, and I was like, wait, this is freaking Amy. I know this is Amy. This isn't whom I'm thinking it is. And she ends up going, no, it's not. It is the girl that you were calling and everything. And I'm like, it doesn't even sound like you. Of course it's not you. That's just ridiculous. Why would you play this joke on me? People don't realize how hurtful that kind of stuff can be until it happens to them, or I guess it's just one of those things. It took me a long time to really become socially adjusted to how normal kids think. I was kind of like this wide-eyed, earnest, overly nice kid. I'm not anymore. I've kind of been bitten in the ass by society too often to really be all that open with people. But I just told people how I felt and how I did this, and I got used and I got made a joke out of more often than not because of that. But it's not, something that terrifies me too greatly. I look back on it with pretty much fond memories of how stupid that was. Whoa. Had to trim off the last minute there because it went overboard. Okay, this is M-Pig and I am signing out. Peace, love, and Bobby Sherman. Why do I keep on saying that? That's so old. Nobody's going to get that.